Hey Explorers, and welcome back to Fifth Explorers. This week I'm explaining how Annabelle is different from other car mods.
When you ain't got no money, you got.
So if you're new or you haven't heard me say it before, Annabelle is the name of my Kia Soul, and last week I showed you guys how I transitioned Annabelle from driving to sleeping. And so I kind of wanted to make a video to explain why I did that, how it's different from a full van life, why I don't just buy a van, it's money, and other things like that. So let's dive in. So the main reason for me wanting to have the changes be fluid is that I didn't want any of it to be permanent. I like having the ability to pile 4 other people into my car if needed, necessary, or wanted. If we're going to dinner or something, I want to have the seat space with seat buckles and everything to fit all of my friends. But I also sometimes like going on solo road trips, and I wanted somewhere to sleep that was comfortable. I felt safe there. I liked the environment that I was in, and it wasn't going to cost me an arm and a leg to sleep in a hotel room. And let's be real, sometimes in the winter you just don't want to sleep on the ground. So it's a good alternative for me. We've all seen people doing hashtag van life where they buy a Sprinter van or some other type of van that's actually big enough for you to stand up inside, completely gut it, and then make it like a teeny tiny mobile home. Those people are really cool. I'm not one of those people. So I wanted to do something a little different but similar. I love being able to camp inside of my car. I love having somewhere to stay that I can move around with me. But at the end of the day, I also love having a nice comfy bed to come home to when I'm done with my trips. And a lot of people might be wondering, why? Why even bother doing this? Why not just buy a van? Well, I hinted at this before, but I cannot afford to pay for 2 vehicles. I own all of Annabelle, paid for her myself, but I don't have the money to buy another vehicle so that I can gut it, make it all fancy, and then use it sometimes. Now, if I was going to do that full time, that's a different story. But one, I like living stationary. Two, I have a job that I actually enjoy. And three, I have a husband who doesn't want to live in a van. And I don't really want to live in a van either. I like having the space as a temporary fix, and I like using it for winter camping. But I don't need it as a full time place to live. So I didn't make it that. I made it a place for me to hang out, a place for me to stay. And that was the goal. Doing my mods to Annabelle were also way cheaper than doing a full van remodel. I've seen some people who've put over 10 grand into their van remodel. Granted, that is less than a house, and go you. Like, I'm not hating on you. I love it. I think it's awesome. I think if you were the kind of person who can live your life in that kind of like flexible, go with the flow kind of way, you're amazing. But I'm not one of those people. But I like having little tastes of it. And so for weekend trips, for winter camping, this is a great alternative for me. And all of my modifications to Annabelle cost me under $100, which is money that I felt good about putting into my little car mod. So that is kind of how Annabelle, or my Kia Soul, is different from those hashtag van lifers that you see out there. I love having the flexibility of Annabelle. I love still having a regular functioning car that I can drive people around in. And I love sometimes going on solo trips where it's just me and my car and I can sleep in it, stay warm, and it was a cheaper alternative for somebody like me. If you guys have any questions about why or what I did or anything, I'm going to do some DIY videos to kind of show you guys how I made things and explain the process and what I paid for in the future. But if you have any questions or want to see anything else, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Piff Explorers. Don't forget to check out our website, piffexplorers.com, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.